HarperCollins presents Monster Hunting for Beginners, Just Add Dragons by Ian Mark. Read by Nigel Pilkington. What's new?
Monster hunters don't get Sundays off. We don't get Mondays or Tuesdays off either. Or Wednesdays, for that matter. As for Thursdays... Look, the point I'm trying to make is that hunting monsters is a full-time job. Monsters are always getting up to no good, so we have to be on call at all hours to stop them getting up to it. That Sunday had been busier than usual. Something seemed to have disturbed monsters everywhere, making them get up to even more no good than usual. Since breakfast, I'd dashed all over the country dealing with clapcans in Catbrain, croakers in Crackpot, roaring bulls in Rotten Bottom, bull beggars in Broken Wind. You probably think I made up all those places, don't you? Well, I didn't. They're real. You can look them up on the map if you don't believe me. Though, I don't know why you're reading this book at all if you don't even believe what I'm telling you in the very first chapter. All I wanted to do when I got home was collapse on the sofa and watch TV. Unfortunately, the only thing on TV was the news, and that's usually so boring that I always fall asleep the moment it starts. That evening was different. No sooner had the news begun than I saw something on screen that made me leap behind the sofa in surprise. You'd have done the same in my shoes. Strictly speaking, they weren't shoes, they were boots. Very special boots, as you'll learn later on, though I probably shouldn't have been wearing them at all while sprawled on the sofa. You'd have done the same in anyone's shoes. Or boots. That's because what I saw was a huge red dragon perched on a bridge in the middle of London, biting into an equally red double-decker bus as if it was a sausage roll fresh from the oven, before tossing the less tasty bits into the river below with an almighty splash.
Red alert.
Before we go any further, I need to point out something important. Everything that follows stems from this one fact I'm about to tell you. Dragons are not meant to exist. If you look in Monster Hunting for Beginners, the official guide given to all apprentice monster hunters when they first take on the job, it says this about dragons.
Dragons are just a fairy tale invented by people who wish they'd been around during the time of the dinosaurs, which is a stupid thing to wish because they'd have been eaten in 5 seconds flat. Though not by the plant-eating dinosaurs, obviously. They'd have been squashed by them instead because the vegetarian dinosaurs were actually much bigger than the other ones. See Don't Exist, Things That, for more details.
If you looked up that entry, it said this.
Don't exist, things that. Dragons. The Isle of Wight. Nice school dinners. Dragons. The word singlehofgum, though it definitely should. Did we mention dragons?
I happened to know that the monster hunting manual was wrong. Dragons really do exist. But not the Isle of Wight, obviously. I knew that because I was friends with one. His name was Cadwallader. I met Cadwallader on my very first adventure when he saved me from being smashed to smithereens on the cobblestones after falling from a great height, which is one of my 5 least favourite ways to die. He now lived at home with me in King's News. That's in Cornwall, which is in England, which is in Britain, which is in the middle of the sea right next to France. When he wasn't flying about in search of other dragons. Cadwallader's dearest wish was to meet another dragon, because he never had. In fact, he'd come to fear that he was the last dragon left in the whole world. I wasn't sure that he'd like the huge
Sample complete. Ready to continue?